Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, April 16th. Not a bad morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region, a mix of clouds and sun. Not all that chilly, upper 40s here in the Philadelphia western suburbs, and it'll be rather mild today with highs approaching 70 degrees in many Mid-Atlantic locations. A cool front is crossing the Ohio Valley this morning. It'll reach the Mid-Atlantic region tonight, perhaps setting off a few showers and thunderstorms that could continue into the morning hours on Wednesday. Not all that chilly behind it, rather mild again Wednesday afternoon here in the Mid-Atlantic region, and then again on Thursday. Then a more significant frontal system will approach the East Coast, reaching the East Coast late Friday night, early Saturday. That'll have a more significant band of showers and thunderstorms associated with it, and then finally move off the East Coast early Friday, paving the way for a chilly weekend. The real weather story over the last several days has been out west, from the southern Rockies up to the northern plains. They've had winter hanging on, and yesterday there was more accumulating snow in Denver, Colorado, for example, and that was just round one. Round two is coming for late tonight and tomorrow with another significant snowfall from the southern Rockies to the northern plains. Let's take a look at the latest surface map. South winds blowing here in the eastern part of the country on the backside of high pressure will boost temperatures to about 70 degrees or so. Pretty mild afternoon expected here ahead of this cool front. Again, there are some showers and isolated thunderstorms associated with that frontal system that'll move into the Mid-Atlantic region this evening. Those showers and thunderstorms can continue Wednesday morning before that moves off the East Coast by midday tomorrow. Meanwhile, another storm is gathering itself out here over the Rockies. They had significant snow yesterday in Denver. On Sunday, there was a significant snowstorm up in the northern plains. Bismarck, North Dakota, for example, had its biggest snowstorm ever with 17.3 inches of snow on Sunday. The New York Mets actually were postponed on Sunday in Minneapolis right here because of snow and ice, and then they traveled to Denver and were snowed out yesterday, and it doesn't look too good, too promising today or tomorrow. So today the precipitation will not be heavy in the southern Rockies in and around Denver, for example, but it'll be cold and there'll be some snow shower, maybe some freezing drizzle activity. They're hoping to get a double header in today. One game this afternoon, one game tonight. Tomorrow doesn't look good. Another snowstorm for that region. I'm not sure what the latest snow out date is in baseball history, but the Mets might be the team to find out. They've run into bad luck here. Minneapolis first, and then in Denver yesterday, as well as today and tomorrow. They're out there as well. Now, in California, there's a very chilly air mass moving in. That could cause some frost conditions in interior valleys in central California overnight tonight into the early part of tomorrow, and some 30-35 mile per hour wind gusts across southern California both today and tomorrow, with that advancing cold air mass into the southern part of the state of California. Well, here's a current look at the radar, and again, there are some showers and embedded thunderstorms with this first frontal system. Again, this is not all that strong of a front. It'll tend to weaken somewhat as it moves to the Mid-Atlantic region. Nonetheless, there can be a few showers and isolated thunderstorms tonight into the early part of Wednesday here in the Mid-Atlantic region. More snow is gathering itself out here over the Rockies. And again, nothing heavy today, but by later tonight and especially on Wednesday, more heavy snow across Denver, and that'll extend up into Wyoming, Nebraska, the Dakotas, and eventually into Minnesota. This whole area has just been absolutely pounded over the last couple of weeks with winter-like weather, accumulating snow and cold conditions, really no end in sight. Again, this is just round two in the last couple of days because Denver had some accumulating snow yesterday. It'll slacken off today and then resume later tonight and continue throughout the day tomorrow. And again, that'll move all the way up into the upper part of the Midwest by Wednesday and the early part of Thursday. Well, let's take a look at some GFS forecast maps. We'll look at 24-hour increments using last night's Zero-Z GFS model run for tonight, tomorrow night, the next night, and the following night. So Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. And then we'll kind of look ahead to some possibilities for next week. Well, by this evening, that frontal system now over the Ohio Valley will be cutting across central Pennsylvania. Again, there's some showers and thunderstorms associated with it. So there can be a shower or thunderstorm anytime overnight tonight here along the I-95 corridor into the morning hours on Wednesday. By this evening, that next in a series of snowstorms will be gathering itself, intensifying over the Rockies with some strong upslope winds and some cold air in place. Heavy snow will redevelop across Denver, Colorado after midnight tonight and continue through the day tomorrow. Again, very cold night expected in portions of California overnight tonight into the early part of tomorrow, with some frost possible this late in the season, some of the interior valleys in central California. Well, here's the forecast map for Wednesday evening. By this time, that first front kind of falls apart as it moves off the east coast. High pressure here in southeastern Canada. Meanwhile, heavy snow starting to spread north and east from the southern Rockies into the northern plains. Again, areas like the Dakotas, western Nebraska, Wyoming, northeastern Colorado, and then extending into Minnesota and upstate Wisconsin will get significant springtime accumulating snow over the next 36 to 48 hours or so. Well, here's the forecast map for Thursday evening. A strong southerly flow of air bringing mild conditions to the mid-Atlantic region. That winter storm moves towards the Great Lakes region, and here's the strong cold front that is headed towards the East Coast, reaching the East Coast late Friday night into the early part of Saturday. Let's now jump ahead to Friday evening. And here's the forecast map for Friday evening. That strong cold front moving towards the east, and that'll bring another round of significant showers and thunderstorms, much like last Friday along the East Coast here. And we're talking Friday night into the early part of Saturday. It looks like it may linger a little bit into the early part of Saturday, with the threat for showers continuing along the I-95 corridor from D.C. to New York City early Saturday. But then skies should partially clear later Saturday as cooler air moves in. It'll be definitely cooler on Saturday as compared with Friday. And looking ahead, it very well could be cool next week following the strong cold frontal passage. In fact, let's take a look now ahead to next week. Well, we've looked at this particular forecast model before. It's called the CFS, the coupled forecast system, and you can get weekly forecasts. And we're looking at temperature anomalies for next week and the following week. This is actually for the week of April 22nd on, and then following that all the way to the end of April here. So it's really next week and the following week, the last 2 weeks for the month of April. Notice here the greens here represent below normal temperatures, and basically once that strong cold front passes off the East Coast this weekend, it looks like it may change the pattern to that of chilly again here across the eastern part of the country and throughout Canada. And that continues, perhaps not quite as drastic or so, but the following week as well. Basically a chilly air mass, cooler than normal here in the eastern part of the country and all the way extending across the Great Lakes throughout Canada for the next 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks for the month of April, following that late week cold frontal passage. Now out west, they'll be warmer than normal here in both time periods here, the last 2 weeks of April. So a mild week this week, but a strong cold frontal passage late Friday night into early Saturday not only ushers in a cooler than normal weekend, but it looks like perhaps the next week or two could be cooler than normal here in the eastern part of the country. That's it for now for the SIweather.com. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.